Hey guys, I'm Brian. She's Brenda on YouTube at New Life Recovery. Good morning, Brenda.
Good morning, Brian.
So I wanted to share a story with you. I used to work with a young woman who uh, very well dressed, very sophisticated. She spoke well. She was educated. She was great with her clients that she worked with as a counselor. And she's the one that trained me on the computer, and she was great, this really great young woman. But when I talked to my other coworkers, they said, no, you don't understand. She's fake. They said she used to work here a long time ago, and then like she was gone a year and she came back and now she's this way. But before she kind of dressed sleazy, she had a foul mouth, she would kind of flirt with her clients and stuff like that. And they were saying that she's fake, but one thing I say all the time is I'm working on creating a better version of myself. Like, is that fake or can we really reinvent ourselves?
I think both. I think both. And I'm going to tell you why. Some people who really work on themselves, they can change, but it's not overnight. And then other people are of the mindset, fake it till you make it. And I understand that too.
Yeah.
But you can't be fake and live a real life. So this person lived a certain way, went away, did the work on herself, and came back. That's totally valid. Okay.
Right.
You can't change overnight. You can't change everything at once. That's the thing with addiction. You didn't wake up one day and decide, oh, today I'm going to become an addict. It doesn't work that way. It slowly works into your being. And when you want to change, it also slowly works into your being. I my you know, People curse, they cuss. Blah. All right. But if you don't like it, then what are you going to do to change it? I have a little mantra that I say when I curse, and I know that if I say a bad word, I'm going to have to say my mantra. Okay. So it helps me. For every action, there's a reaction. So I say, shame on those coworkers that say that this woman is fake because she's done a lot of really hard work.
Yeah.
I also think that you can't grow in an environment that stagnated you because those
Oh,
people
yeah.
can't see you. They can't see your hard work. And you and I touch on this a couple of times. Jesus couldn't even preach in his hometown. Okay. I was one person at 20, I was a different person at 30, and I'm a different person now. Some people say, oh, you're too old to wear your hair like this. Like, this is for little girls, right? You know what? No, it makes me happy. It makes other people happy. It makes other people irritated, but I'm not responsible for that.
Yeah. I like how you used swearing as a illustration because Um, it's such a simple illustration, but yeah, if I want to cut down on something, I practice a new behavior and eventually it becomes part of my personality. But like we talk so much about, it takes intentionality. But I can
Yeah.
intentionally try to create a better version of myself. So I practice these things. It becomes integrated into my personality. For example, I'm tired of being a jerk all the time, and so I'm going to practice kindness. And now I become a kind person. That becomes part of my personality and eventually becomes my identity. I'm a kind person. I'm reinventing myself. Yeah, I don't think it has to be fake. Um, I wrote in my notes that the biggest thing holding us back from becoming a better version of ourselves is ourself. And when I brought up identity a minute ago, um, I think this idea of self-concept really is a weight of determining our actions. So if I see myself as a strong, courageous, powerful individual, I'm going to hold myself that way. I'm going to act that way. That's going to come out in my personality, right? Um, if I see myself as wounded and a victim, right? That victim mentality we sometimes talk about, that's going to come out in my personality. Um, I have always struggled with confidence. And in part, I was made fun of because I was poor when I was a little kid. And I also struggled because I have a learning disability and I went to LD classes. So I always felt insecure, like not good enough. Well, I remember going into a truck stop with a friend of mine. He and I were both truck drivers. We were traveling the same way, and we had, pulled off the road and went to this truck stop. And he grew up very poor himself. And he was really overweight and not really, a little rough around the edges. I'm trying to be nice. Uh,
Well, we're all
but
different.
but he walks in the truck stop, and Brenda, it was crazy. He he's got a big personality. And he walked in and he's immediately started flirting with the two women that works there and joking and laughing. And he had this commanding presence, and they were eating it up.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is um, I'm focusing on what I don't have. I'm focusing on what's negative about me. I'm focusing on the characteristics that I don't like. And that comes out in my personality. So, I might be a little more mousy. I might be a little more um,
Meek.
less, yeah, meek, less confident when I come in. This guy didn't care. He focused on his strengths, and the strength that he had was he was a positive person. He had a big personality, and he didn't let anything stop him. He wasn't focusing on his weaknesses, obviously. And it changed, the course of his life.
Well, you were his friend, so you know what his focus was on. I have found that you have to know your audience. Okay. I worked for a person for many years that didn't appreciate everything that I have to offer. So I would have to be my big person outside of the office. And when I go into the office, I'd have to closet everything up. I have to close everything up.
Yeah.
Now, see, that was my stagnant environment. I did what I had to do, but I could work on myself slowly outside of that environment that stagnated me, that didn't want me to grow, that didn't want me to succeed. We have to realize the environment that we're in.
Yeah.
If you can't see the environment that you're in, then you don't know how to get out of it. We have everybody beating us down, everybody. Guess what? There's always going to be somebody prettier. There's always going to be somebody smarter. But there's never going to be anybody that has your particular mix.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we need to quit gauging our success and our personality and our happiness on what everybody else has.
Yeah.
I don't know what you have, Brian. What you have might make me happy, but I make my environment happy. I have a friend that's going through an addiction issue, and I said, anytime you want to come over to my house, you come. I have created a safe place that is peaceful intentionally. You want to come over here? There's no drama. It's taken me years to do that. Years.
Yeah.
Again,
Um,
it doesn't happen overnight.
I think the take home, or one of the take homes, is to make a list. And I did this last Sunday. I literally made a list of my strengths. And if I can focus on, the positives, I'm a people person. I'm very kind. In the line of work I do, I get to help a lot of people, but I'm very empathetic. I don't think I'm better than anyone else. So I just have a caring heart. I'm a decent speaker. I can get up in front of people and speak. I have, speaking ability. I'm artistic, I'm musical. And despite my learning disability, I think that I'm intelligent. And I'm not at all like, um, you know, prideful in a bad way, but I think we need to sit down literally, and that's my encouragement for all of us today. Literally sit down and make a list. These are the parts of my personality. These are character traits or personality traits that I have that I'm proud of, that I think are strengths. And so, Brenda, I'll ask you right off, what are some of your strengths?
Well, much like you, I love people. I love interacting with people. Um, but I am extremely hard on myself as well. I think we're our own worst critics,
Mm-hmm.
and the world tells us to concentrate on our weaknesses because that's what we need to work on. That's what we need to work on. And absolutely, we do need to work on that, but we need to work on that like 30% because 70% we're supposed to go out there and be ourselves and be unique
Yeah.
and One of my strengths is I've got dad jokes for days. Okay. Now, some people may not see that as a strength. All right. But sometimes when you're in a line at Walmart, you may be the only laugh that that lady gets. Like your friend walking into the truck stop and the lady's behind the counter eating it up. You want to know why? Because their life is hard and they got to deal with jerks arguing about a penny. Somebody come in and want to bring you a laugh and bring it. And that is no small skill.
Yeah. Yeah.
it, there was something that I read and somebody said to the universe, what is my purpose? And the universe replied to them, do you remember that little boy that you went helped across the crosswalk? And the person was like, yeah, but that was like when I was a child. What if that was your only purpose? Now this person does this and you're still living. So I think we need to expand. We need to expand our list about what our strengths are. I think we need to write down the strengths that we really think they are and not what other people tell us they are. With
Yeah.
these old tapes,
Yeah.
the woman that raised me said I was never going to be good for anything other than to be a wife. And that was it. That was my only focus. So she didn't put any value on education or on adventure or on literature for that matter. So I
Yeah.
think we need to also separate in our brains what somebody said we should be good at and what we really are good at. And then guess what? Also, does it bring us joy? And by joy, I mean, does it make us happy? Does it fulfill what is happening on the inside here? At our company, we're doing this health challenge. And you know what? I can't get on the treadmill for 30 minutes. It kills me. I can do 10 minutes 3 times a day, though. Break it up into what you can handle
Yeah.
because somebody else's bar is not yours.
Yeah. And then I think take it one step further and even say, not only are these the things that I'm good at, so I'm going to focus on that, you know? And again, it's a choice. A hammer's not a screwdriver, but man, a hammer can drive nails. And if he's going through his whole life saying, man, I'm just not a good at, I'm not a screwdriver, man, you're missing out. You're on your purpose. Fulfillment comes in doing the things that you're great at, so focus on that and be encouraged by that, but also um, be a little bit courageous to make another list of things that you'd like to grow in,
Mhm.
character traits that you would like to develop. And so my list, I'd like to be confident. Confidence. I'd like to have more confidence. I'd like to be closer to God. I'd like to be healthier. I'd like to be content, not
Mm.
always wanting the next thing. I want to love myself, among other things. So those are some things that I said that I want to build. Well, here's what's interesting. There's a study that showed that if you posture before you go to a job interview, you're more likely to get the job. In other words, if you stand up straight and put your shoulders back and you stand in a proud, strong stature, take some deep breaths, um, just by you practicing that powerful pose, that um, stature, you kind of become that. You kind of take that on. And it's not being fake. If you need confidence or you need kindness or anything else, we can practice it. So even though my nature isn't to be a really confident person, I'm going to come on here and I'm going to talk with you and I'm going to be confident. And I'm going to go into the grocery store with my head held high and I'm going to make eye contact, because we can practice these things and then they become part of our personality and then part of our identity.
Little by little, not overnight. We have to
Yeah,
be patient with ourselves.
yeah, for sure.
And when we slip up, that's okay because that's life. We
Yeah,
have to be patient. I think I said this last time. If we can't love ourselves, how can we love anybody else? And how can we let anybody else love us?
yeah,
Like, and it's a journey. It's a journey without a destination. Like, we're never, yeah. I said it, what, 4 minutes? Somebody's always going to have more. I'm so happy with what I have. I'm so
that's good.
happy. And
That's great.
anytime we wake up in the morning, anytime we have, yes, make a list. Yes, embrace what you're good at, learn about it. I'm going to school right now. I have a 700-page book I have to read. It's very intimidating. I won't get educated until I read it. But guess what? I'm not going to sit down and read it for 4 straight days. Okay. We have to take it a little bit at a time. And if we
Yeah,
do that, and if we tell people what we're doing, and if we take the confidence that's in ourselves not egotistically, and not to
Of
boss
course.
people around, and
Right.
not to be a freaking jerk, then we can teach people.
Yeah. Brenda, appreciate you so much. Guys, she's Brenda.
Thanks,
I'm
Brian.
Brian on YouTube at New Life Recovery. We love you. God bless you. Until next time, be well.